Hey everybody, it is Sylvia Dana with the Sylvia System, and I want to tell you 5 things that you need to know about getting started with kvCore. Number 1, your MLS. Your kvCore website is a web IDX. When you opt in for your kvCore website, it will be set up with your MLS and you'll have access to see all of the listings in the MLS, and so will the consumers who are looking at your website. If you have more than one MLS and you have kvCore, you will need, if you want to, you will need to add an additional website. How this will work is you'll go into your kvCore dashboard, and from your kvCore dashboard, you'll see a menu item that says Marketplace, and you will look for the EXP Additional Templated Website. These are for EXP agents, okay? This means that you're in multiple MLSs and you want to add an additional MLS. You can add as many as you want, but there is an additional fee. Right now, it's about $14 extra a month, okay? So what this will mean is you will have one kvCore login, one kvCore dashboard, one kvCore CRM, one agent profile, one marketing autopilot for all your campaigns, but you'll actually have different websites, different domains, different lead generating links, different looks and feels if you want to. So just know that you can do that. That's the second thing that you need to know about getting started with kvCore is working with teams. I talk to a lot of husband and wife teams, and sometimes they don't realize in EXP anyway, I don't know what brokerage you're in, but in EXP, you can have what's called a domestic team. This domestic team could be beneficial for a husband and wife team to be able to have one kvCore account. You can brand your kvCore website as a husband and wife team. You can decide on what your domain is for free. You don't have to have a vanity domain for this. You could have, like, let's say Randy and Leslie Real Estate .exprealty.com or the Ford Group .exprealty.com. That is something that your brokerage, when you set up your kvCore, you will work out what that domain is actually going to be. The other thing you might want to know about teams in kvCore is there is a team platform. Now this is, if you're in EXP, it's like an additional $400 a month. There's one team website, that's the main website, and then there's subdomains for each individual team member. So they can still have their own website and everything. But you as the team admin or team lead can see everything that's going on and do lead routing and assign leads and all that jazz. However, there is a workaround if you don't want to pay that extra $400. Might be a slightly more complicated, but not too much. So whether it's a standard team or a self-organized team or a mega team, no matter what kind of team it is, you could all have your own individual kvCore accounts. And then you could share contacts from the CRM to somebody else in your brokerage, and you'll be able to see everything that's going on with that contact still. When that person contacts that lead, it'll come from them because they'll be using their own kvCore account. They'll be using their own CRM, but you'll be able to see all that interaction. You can make them somebody who can view the contact or view and edit the contact, meaning they can work in that lead just like you would as the owner of that lead. The third thing you want to know about getting started with kvCore is think about your branding. Think about your domain. As far as branding and domains and compliance, think about what your state rules are. And so think about what kind of compliance issues you're facing in your state, in your association, in your country. Now, when you come into your brokerage, so let's say it's EXP Realty or whatever brokerage it is, you're going to be given a domain. So for example, mine is sylviadana.exprealty.com. If I wanted to, I could go to a domain provider like GoDaddy, and I could purchase my own domain like sylviadana.com. And I could set up that domain within GoDaddy to forward to my kvCore account. So for example, someone types in sylviadana.com and it will just forward them to that domain. They will just automatically go to that domain. The domain itself for kvCore wouldn't be changed in that case, and that's fine. If you do that, please do not forward with masking. Make sure you forward without masking. Okay, that's Just want to make sure. All right. Okay. Second, as far as your domain, you might think about a vanity domain with kvCore. A vanity domain is where you purchase a domain either from a domain provider like GoDaddy or directly from kvCore. Could actually work this out for you possibly. What you'll do is you'll go into your kvCore dashboard, go to Marketplace, and look for the vanity domain add-on. Okay, so what this means is that domain is actually going to be built in to your kvCore platform. So if somebody looks at, so I've got some examples here, OrlandoHomesquad.com. You can go to Orlando Home Squad. It's a husband and wife team, and they have a vanity domain. And when they go to Orlando Home Squad, you actually go to the kvCore website. It's not forwarded, and it's built in. So all the links and everything have the OrlandoHomesquad.com domain, not exprealty.com. Okay, so that's something you might consider. It is an extra charge per month. I can't remember if it's $10 or $12, but it's something. Okay, so that's a possibility. I don't know that it's necessary, but it's available if you want it. The other thing I want you to think about when it comes to branding and domains is what are the rules for your real estate association? So for example, those of us in the US are members of the National Association of Realtors. We have trademark rules in which you can't use the word realtor in a domain that is also with a location word or a description word. So you can have bestrealtor.com. I mean, you just can't, okay? You can, but you'd be violating their trademark rules. You also can't have Grand Rapids Realtor, okay? That's not something that you can do. So that would be violating your association's rules for advertising. EXP, for example, or whatever brokerage you're in, likely has the same rules. So in EXP, for example, you can't have EXP as a trademarked logo and trademark name in your domain. So you can't have EXP Realtor for sure. You can't have expgrandrapids.com. You can't have that. So you have to know what the branding rules are. So go to your brokerage, go to your association, make sure you understand what your branding rules and advertising rules are for your domains, your business cards, addresses, brokerage numbers, what has to be where according to your advertising rules. So know your rules when you think about branding, when you think about your domain, etc. The other thing I want to talk to you about when you're thinking about getting started with kvCore is social media setup. So a lot of us who are using kvCore want to use it because we heard it was a great lead generating system, and it is. But I'm going to tell you that if you want to generate leads online at a very low cost or for free, you're going to have social media set up. You're going to want to have a Facebook business page. You're going to want to have a Google My Business page. You're going to want to have an Instagram account. Those are the minimums. I'm also going to recommend you add LinkedIn and a YouTube channel on there. Now, do you have to have these things all set up before you get started with kvCore? Absolutely not. But you will want to work on it as quickly as possible, okay? The final thing that I want to talk to you about when you think about getting started with kvCore is the SMART number that is associated with your kvCore account. So I can only give you the example of what we have in EXP because I don't know how your brokerage might work if you use kvCore. So be gentle with me. Okay, in EXP, we are assigned to offices within kvCore that are different regions of the area that we live in or that we work in. And when we come into EXP and we opt in for our kvCore website, we are assigned an office SMART number. This SMART number is a shared number in which if anybody were to call it, it would round robin to the next agent in our office. Okay, so it's not a number that you're going to want to promote. We also have the ability with this SMART number for call capture. You can create your own call capture codes. So for example, if I created a code that said Sylvia, text the word Sylvia to this SMART number, and so that lead could get some information about a listing, or that lead could get a link to enter in their address to get their instant home value. Whatever the case may be, you can create this call capture code. And in that case, that code that you create is going to be specific to you, and nobody else in your office is going to be able to create that code. So in that case, the lead will come to you. However, I have heard stories, I don't think it's supposed to happen, but I have heard stories that people that, continue to text back and forth with that lead, or if that lead decides to call, even though their phone number's in your system, it could still possibly round robin. So just something to know about. How are you going to prevent that? Well, number one is just don't use call capture codes, and don't promote that smart number. Okay, so that's one thing to know. Or you could purchase through the kvCore marketplace your own smart number, personal smart number add-on. This will be your own agent smart number. And this way, anybody who calls the number or texts the number, that lead's only yours, and it's not going to be shared, and you're not going to risk losing that lead to anybody. So those are things that you want to know about as you're getting started with kvCore and using it as your marketing machine, which you totally can do. It's great for that. And so I just wanted to make sure you're prepared. Don't let it overwhelm you. You just needed to know these things. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. All my contact information is in the description of this video. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.